Welcome to another amazing episode of Now Behind the Brands, an Evolution Media podcast.
TV isn't just TV anymore.
So say, for instance, you're a retailer selling clothes. Is we get the data uploaded and we cross-match it with our Sky household data. So we match our data with the client data to see who viewed the ad and then who went onto that website.
Oh, nice.
You need the right people around you.
Yeah.
My manager is possibly one of the most supportive people I've ever met in my life. I'm 40 now, but I'm still learning. You're constantly learning. Just do what makes you happy.
Kayleigh Savva, hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's good to have you in here.
Thank you.
At the risk of me not butchering what you do and where you come from, etc., can you just give our audience, the Behind the Brands audience, a bit of background of who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so I'm Kayleigh. I work for AdSmart from Sky, so it's a sales arm of Sky Media, and it's the TV advertising part of Sky. So essentially, I put businesses in my territory, which is Devon, Cornwall and Somerset, onto TV.
Amazing. And we spoke a little bit about this off camera, but tell me a little bit about your background and what brought you to Sky.
So I fell into Sky, which I was really lucky to. So I primarily from a kind of marketing background, and certain things happened in life that made me feel like I had to take a bit of a shift in my career. And I thought, right, what can I do to earn some good money and progress in my career? And it was to take a step into sales. Didn't have any sales experience, so I just took the leap. Went for a job in Bath, of all places, quite far from Devon, where I live. Gave me a little bit of experience, but it just wasn't kind of for me. So came back home and started working for an agency. So a full market agency. And actually, I sold AdSmart as part of that agency, but at kind of a lower level. I didn't really understand it too well. And I was there for about 18 months and I got approached by Sky. So the salesperson that covers my area now, who was covering it at the time, said, he needed some help. He knew I knew quite a lot of businesses in the area and just said, do you fancy coming over to Sky? And I was like, no, thank you. I don't want to work for a big corporate business. And he approached me a few times. And in the end, I said, let's have a conversation. Let's see what they've got to say. And yeah, before you know it, they offered me a job. And I took it. And I was nervous because I've never worked for a large corporate business like that. I thought I was going to be just a number. I wanted the support. I wanted the training. I wanted career progression. And I wasn't convinced that I would get that from Sky. But I was completely wrong. And taking a step into Sky was probably the best thing that I've ever done. Love my job. Love everything about the business, the culture, just the work-life balance is amazing. And I love being part of media. I'm quite a creative person at heart, and it allows me to be part of that creativity, be it working with production companies and, seeing a TV ad come to life and being a part of that is I love it. It's so rewarding. And every day is kind of different for me. Like I said, I cover Devon, Cornwall, Somerset. It's one of the most beautiful areas in the UK. I'm blessed. So yeah, it's a fantastic place to work.
So you mentioned before that, and before the agency, you got a job in Bath. You first job in sales, never done sales before, and doesn't sound like it was the ideal fit for you. But there must have been something there that made you think, well, I think I can do this. But there's also obviously a bit of resilience there. Tell me a little bit about what happened there. And obviously you're still in sales now, in marketing, which is, you're enjoying the mix between sales and marketing, which I've kind of done that my whole career as well. What happened in that process for you to think, well, actually, I like this?
So I'm the sort of person that continually wants to learn. I'm always wanting to find out, about marketing, and especially if I'm selling a product, I need to know the ins and outs of that product for me to be able to take that to market. And I wasn't getting that. And the product that we were selling is very technical. So yeah, I wanted to know. I wanted to know how it worked, how you build it, how you install it, et cetera, et cetera. And I just wasn't getting that from the employer. But I loved the environment that I was in. I loved like the people that I was working with. I loved getting that buzz off being in that sales environment. And actually, even though that job didn't work out for me, it gave me experiences that I'd never had before, such as, going to certain events, red carpet events. They were like, £400-500 a ticket, wearing ball gown dresses. I thought, this is amazing. Like, what am I doing here? Where are my trainers? So I loved that. So I knew that I wanted to stay in that kind of environment, but that particular role just obviously wasn't for me. And I was commuting back and forth from Devon to Bath. It just wasn't ideal being a single mum at the time with a couple of kids. But come back and just, try to look for something locally, but somewhere that I could have that training and that support to be able to be a really good salesperson.
Sure, yeah. And fast forward into at Sky, you're in your career. You clearly you've been there 4 years now, right?
4 years, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about some of the milestones that you've had along the way, and like things that you really like. I know in my career, there's things that I remember and I'll remember forever. What are some of the things that you remember that you'll never forget?
I think one of the main things that I'll never forget Sky is actually winning Saleswoman of the Year. It was a couple of years back. And I didn't even know that I'd been nominated. And yeah, I got this call to say that I had been nominated and invited up to the event for the awards. And for me, it was really bizarre because I actually, even though I'm in sales, I don't look at myself as a salesperson. I really don't. It's more of a business development role. Sure. And, I look at our dashboard at work and be like, I'm not right at the top. I've got, many colleagues that are absolutely flying. So I'm thinking, why on earth am I getting this? What is it that I'm doing differently that makes me a good salesperson? But I think it's just honesty and, being transparent with people and businesses and being open. But I think that for me was it was amazing. Yeah. I just felt so proud, especially after having quite a few knockbacks throughout the years and actually being told by certain people that I wasn't going to be good and that I should, they suggested I have a career move and things like that. So my confidence over the years has been massively been knocked. So to be awarded that, it was huge. It was huge for me. Yeah. I was really proud.
Yeah, we spoke a little bit about this off camera. I moved over from South Africa in 2012, got a job on a tiny little newspaper in Devon, with a much thicker accent that I had now. I had some people say to me, it's like, are you calling from a call center in South Africa? So that was tough. And also I'd been used to face-to-face sales, and this was purely telesales. It was really, really difficult for me for the first 6 months, but I had someone that believed in me. Like, I had a lot of people telling me that I couldn't do it, but then I had someone believe in me. Had a few things go well, and it just totally transformed me as a person. And after that, I just absolutely flew. And it sounds like a little bit like what happened with you.
100%. I was completely knocked, and like every ounce of confidence just kind of shot out of me. But you need the right people around you. Yeah. And when I got to Sky, I realised I had that. My manager is possibly one of the most supportive people I've ever met in my life. And he has been there like every step of the way. I can phone him whenever I need to speak to him. It's never an effort. Whereas before it could have been like, I'm busy, I'll phone you back. Yeah. Never. He's always there. No, and no question is silly. And yeah, I'm 40 now, but I'm still learning. You're constantly learning, and I think that's what they like about about me, is that I am always asking those questions. I want to better myself. Yeah, and the fact that you've got a good group of people around you who are always there holding you up, it's gonna build your confidence. It's absolutely gonna build your confidence. And yeah, it's been great for me in every sense.
I think you also touched on like that coachability, wanting to learn. I think I've employed people in the past before pandemic. It's a bit of a thing these days, before pandemic, after pandemic. And having people, like, I remember speaking to one of my staff members about having a coaching session every week, and they were like, "Oh, I don't need coaching." I was like, "Well, if you have the attitude that you've got everything sorted and everything's okay, I think probably it's a bit of insecurity because you don't want to admit that you probably don't. But having that attitude for coachability, learning, always knowing that you can improve better, that in any career is really useful and helpful, really, isn't it?
Definitely. You've got to keep learning. You've got to keep pushing yourself, because things are always changing, and especially at Sky, I know my job, but I don't know everything, and there's always something new coming up. So you have to be ahead of the game. You have to have that knowledge. You have to have that understanding. And the more you know, the more that you can take to market and help your clients.
Yeah. What's the funniest ad that you've had through on Sky?
The funniest ad?
Yeah, that you've worked with. I'm putting you on the spot now, aren't I?
You are a little bit. I don't think I've had any real funny ads.
Yeah.
There's been some quirky ads.
Yeah.
People dressing up.
Were the quirky ads good ads?
They worked.
Yeah. Okay.
They worked.
Yeah.
Because TV is all about, whether you like them or not, the TV is all about being memorable and being engaging. And
there's some really annoying TV ads out there, but you remember them, don't you?
Exactly. And that's what it's about. It's being memorable. So,
do you think, because obviously those ads, they work and they get attention, but do they convert sales? Does it make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I get a lot of businesses come to me and say, okay, I want to be on the TV.
Yeah.
How much am I going to make from it? I'm not a magician. I can't make magic.
Or fortune teller either.
Yeah. But what we can do at Sky is we make sure that the ad is live. We make sure that the impressions or the adverts are delivered in full. We make sure that it goes to the right homes. And then after your campaign finishes, we can actually run a post-campaign analysis. And this is one of our USPs at Sky, is that we can actually measure the success of a campaign. And you can't do that with a lot of other media. You can't, out of home, for instance, yes, it's great. You're going to have however many people walk past, but it's not guaranteed. The same with radio, for instance. Great for brand awareness, but you never know who's listening. Yeah. Whereas what we do at Sky is we offer the client the opportunity to upload their sales data. It all gets anonymized, so no one sees any of the data. So we give you access to our portal. Upload data, whether it's a store data, it could be web data. Say, for instance, you're a retailer selling clothes. And what we do is we get the data uploaded and we cross-match it with our Sky household data. So we match our data with the client data to see who viewed the ad and then who went onto that website.
Oh, nice.
What do they do on that website? Yeah. Did they complete a form? Whatever your call to action might be, did they put something in a basket? Did they proceed to checkout? And then what we can actually do is see how many people from AdSmartable homes actually bought from you.
Yeah.
So we have tons and tons of case studies across all sectors and industries that show the return on investment.
Yeah, because that's where, it's been happening for a long time now, but TV isn't just TV anymore. You've got all this digital back end behind it, and it's a lot more clever than it used to be. It's not just turning on the TV and watching. There's lots of other things going in the background, really, isn't there?
There's so much going on in the background. Essentially, what AdSmart is, so the the ads that you see within Sky TV, it's all digital. It's digital advertising, but on the big screen.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And we can go into live feeds. We can go into video on demand, so that catch up environment. And we've got a short form proposition. So the apps that we have, Sky Sports, Sky News, Sky YouTube. We're partnered with Now TV. We're also partnered with Virgin. It goes into all of those areas.
Yeah.
So, and it's all digital. So we build on the audience that you want. So a business can pick and choose the demographics. It could be age, it could be affluence, it could be income, whether you've got a dog in the house, if you drive an electric car, whatever it is that you're looking for, we pretty much have it. You pick your location. Do you want to cover just Devon? Do you want to cover Bristol? Wherever you want to be based, we can do that. And it only goes into those households that matter and that will have an interest in what you're saying or what you're selling or what you're promoting, whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
So there's no wastage. Whereas historically, people think TV just goes out to anyone and everyone, which you can still do that. If you want that scattergun approach, that's fine. But if you want something more targeted with less wastage, then you just pick and choose who you want to go to.
Yeah. And what keeps you busy outside of work?
Outside of work?
Besides your 2 kids?
I do a lot of holidaying.
Nice.
I don't say traveling, I do a lot of holidaying. I want to experience the world.
Yeah.
And see new places. So we travel about a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my kids, I do a lot of training. Dabbled in a bit of running recently. Hurt my hip.
Oh, man.
Getting old.
I'm not designed for running, really. I don't fancy it. I prefer cycling.
I love it, but it hurts my bones. Cycling would probably be easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like to keep fit, get out and about, do a lot of walking.
Yeah.
Be by the ocean.
Yeah. Wait, so you've come from a marketing background and gone into sales. A lot of people do it the other way around, probably because they don't enjoy sales because it's freaking hard. What are the things that you've learned from transitioning from one to the other? Because obviously you work for Sky AdSmart, you are within a marketing capacity. What are the things that you've learned or takeaways that you've taken from your career in marketing that you've now applied into sales?
I think the main thing for me, especially with working at Sky, is that I'm able to bring that knowledge in with me.
Yeah.
And even though essentially what I'm doing at Sky is selling TV advertising space, I speak to a lot of businesses who might not have their marketing team in place. So I can actually advise them and I kind of help them through that part of their journey as well, and kind of give them my opinions and kind of say what would work best alongside their TV campaign. So obviously I know everything's changed. I mean, I did my marketing certificate like 10 years ago, so it's probably hugely changed since then. But the information that I do know, I can kind of pass over to businesses that I speak to. So it's quite handy. And actually, sometimes when I go into see my agencies, I actually learn from them. I always go and see the events, or I attend the events that Launch Online put on occasionally, and they're fantastic because they always have like Google on the panel and various different kind of marketeers, and that again that's for us to learn as well, because it's ever changing, so you need to kind of be on top of what the trends are.
I mean, things change every day these days with AI, and because you've got development upon development that's literally changing marketing, like algorithms, etc. So things are changing so quickly. It's hard to keep up, but you've got your degree in marketing. Was it in marketing that you got your degree? Yeah. But that's even that now, like you say, that's you've got the foundations, but even like people doing degrees today, by the time they finish it, the degree, yes, it's still relevant, yes, it's still foundation, but things are changed so massively that people have to learn on their feet and constantly learn, like we were talking about earlier.
Definitely. That's why I'm, constantly wanting to take part in courses, or whether it's, researching things online, and every day I've learned something new.
Yeah.
Every day.
So what does the future look like for Kayleigh?
Ooh, that's a good question. Do you know what? I don't know. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, keep working hard, and whatever will be, will be.
Yeah.
Try not to look too far ahead.
No.
I think I spent a lot of years
Yeah.
planning and, striving to be someone and, be somewhere. And it doesn't always work out like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as long as, keep working hard, keep doing what I'm doing, still apply myself as the best I can, then, I feel pretty happy and content with where I am now. And I look back to, say, 8 years ago when things were really, really rough, and I saw, there was no vision in my life. It was literally, I was like, I didn't know what I was doing. I had these 2 little ones to look after. I couldn't even look after myself. And now I'm sat here with you.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just thankful for where I am.
Yeah, I feel very, very much similar. So I used to have these 5-year plans, 10-year plans, but things change so quickly. And also, I think when the pandemic hit, it literally, because you'd have these plans and you'd have a trajectory that we owned a business locally. We had these plans that we wanted, and then things just changed overnight. And like everyone was like, oh, crap, what do we do now? And I think that kind of changed the mindset in me. Yes, there's things I want to achieve. Yes, there's places I want to get to in my career, but I don't want to have this plan where I'm thinking I'm going this direction, where actually I'm open to what I feel like is coming my way and how I might be led, basically. So you never really know what's going to happen. Yes, you can have a goal and objectives that you want to achieve, but having a real plan for your future is like, again, no one's a fortune teller, really, are they?
Yeah, I totally agree.
What do you, if this is going to sound like a morbid question, but it's not. What do you want to be remembered for?
In Sky or just in general?
Yeah. If again, it's going to sound morbid, but if they still had obituaries, I don't know if they did do those anymore. But if one day, way, way, way in the future, somebody read your obituary, what would you like it to read?
I guess I kind of want to be remembered for being a happy person, spreading joy, and just being positive. And hopefully that will follow on to other people, because life is tough and there's a lot of negativity that surrounds us. So if I can just be a positive person, glass half full.
Yeah.
That's all I can ask for, I guess.
We also spoke a little bit about this off camera before, and we both come from the same, because we're both in sales. I've worked with some salespeople so when I started my career in sales, I'll just give you a bit of background. I used to run a little courier business in Durban in South Africa, and one of my clients said to me, you should be in sales. And I had this vision in mind of this salesman that's trying to sell you a dodgy car and just trying to convince you. And I'm like, no, that's not me. I don't want to be in sales. But they spoke to me as like, it's really about relationship, really about building that relationship and trust. And you can't do that if you're dishonest. Yes, you can get a sale, you can get a deal, but really it's about long-term relationship, building that trust and really doing the right thing for your client. And we spoke a little bit about that before good old Wes in the back there turned the cameras on. Tell me a little bit of where does that come from? That feeling that you need to do the right thing, really.
My nan.
Yeah.
I was brought up by my nan. she, typical Cypriot, always helpful, always, always taught me to tell the truth and just be an honest, decent person.
Yeah.
I think it's just installed in us. For me, I have to be honest. I have to be transparent. It's not. I want to have really, really good relationships with my clients and my agencies, and I think for me, I like to feel like part of their team, so they can kind of lean on me as much as I lean on them. And you have to be honest. If you start, being dishonest or selling something that's not quite right just for a quick buck, then that reputation spreads.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
And also I wouldn't want that for my advertisers anyway.
Yeah. I think it's also sometimes things don't always go perfectly, do they?
No, they don't.
And it's also like when things don't go right, or someone's made a mistake, or maybe a campaign or something like you expected to do well didn't do well. It's also being honest in those moments, because those are the times where actually being honest and open and say, yes, we messed up or whatever, those are the times when I think those interactions and those things build relationship more than any of the times that do really well.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
that's where a client will be like, okay, you've been open, you've been upfront, and you've been honest with me, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we had a good example. I mean, I've been really fortunate at Sky. I don't have many campaigns that don't work. But obviously, the Sky boxes, they're machines. Things go wrong.
Yeah.
One example was last Christmas, actually. My busiest period over the year has got to be December, by far.
Yeah.
Everyone's hyping up for Christmas and New Year. And I was working throughout Christmas because it was just, we had so many campaigns to build and we can only do so much. And then there's a kind of a part between getting the ads on the top boxes where it's all kind of computerized and things do go wrong, things do get delayed. So there was quite a few campaigns that, didn't go live on that particular day. But we were working really hard in the background to get it right. And I was completely honest with my clients. This is what's happened. This is what we're doing. This is what we're going to do to, compensate or to make it better, and they love that. They love that open and honest conversation that we have. There's no point in trying to, sugarcoat anything that's, potentially going wrong because you don't get anything out of that. But the great thing with Sky, we have, when we plan a campaign and we set it live, there's a certain amount of impressions that we've planned in for that particular campaign. And if it's running for a month and for whatever reason we've not reached 100% of the impressions by the end date, for whatever reason, it could be, I don't know, half term, for instance, you've got the kids at home watching cartoons or whatever they're watching, and your particular ad, which is targeting, a person of a certain age, for instance, it's not going to go into that content. It's not going to go into the kids' content, so it has to wait until,
Or like the weather's a lot better than expected, so everyone's outside not watching TV. Yeah.
Exactly. It could be whatever reason. So by, just say, for instance, we've only delivered 95% of the impressions and it's coming to the end date. I'll say, right, we haven't delivered 5%. Let's extend your campaign. Let's keep you live another week, another 2 weeks, however long it takes. And 9 times out of 10, unless it's, a sale or whatever it might be, the clients love that. Great. Okay. Well, we're going to stay on TV a little bit longer until you deliver in full for no extra charge. Yeah. So Sky are really great like that. Yeah. They're really, really good because you could go, okay, we're cutting it off and that's it. You just get charged for whatever impressions have gone out, but we don't. And that's the beauty of Sky. They're good like that.
So in closing, if you wanted to leave a message with the audience or a final thought, what would that be, Kayleigh?
With regards to Sky?
No, just you.
Just me?
You, Kayleigh, or Sky. What just like a final thought, yeah.
Let's do both.
Yeah, go ahead.
So with Sky and TV advertising, it's not as scary as people think. Talk to us, talk to me, find out a little bit more about it. And for me, just do what makes you happy. Live your best life. Try and be positive, and just be happy.
Spread joy.
Spread joy.
Yeah. Amazing, Kayleigh. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.